everybody, welcome to a very special episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. As always, I'm your host, The Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone. Now, what's so very special about this one? Well, I'm going to do a segment I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I've never finally gotten around to doing, and we're doing it today. Hardware Fetish. So as you see here, I've got a whole crazy setup going. What we're reviewing today is the Hauppauge PVR Gaming Edition. That's Personal Video Recorder. And you see it right here, okay? It's a little box, doesn't weigh very much. But what this allows you to do is record your gaming footage from your consoles. I mean, recording footage off a PC, that's easy. Everybody can do it. And before, mostly you'd have to have a recording video card for your PC and make sure that was in the vicinity of your consoles if you wanted to record. Well, as you can see, I've got a couple laptops here. This makes it a lot easier. You just use your Hauppauge, plug it in through USB, and you're recording your gameplay footage. So it makes it a lot easier if you don't want to keep your high-powered, PC right next to your consoles. Now, the PVR comes with, of course, the PVR itself, an installation disc for PC, has a component cable that works as a pass-through, and then the other cable right here that connects to all three consoles. It has plugs for each one of them. Now, right now, you see it's plugged in to the Nintendo Wii. So it's coming out of that component into here, component back out, and into our handy-dandy monitor. And you see right there, the Wii is working fine. And then we have a USB cable running into, right now, one of these two laptops that has the interface for recording. So it's real simple, works really easy. One thing, though, I have found you cannot plug in all three of these consoles at the same time. For instance, I tried this earlier, had the Wii running, plugged in the 360 part, the sound went away. Plugged in the PS3 part, and the whole thing just went black. So it's one at a time. But other than that, pretty cool. So how about we get into this? Now, as you see, we got the Wii footage going on, and this is at 480p. It's the highest resolution that the Wii will go. But this is probably not what most people are going to want to buy the Hauppauge for. They want one of the two big boys right there to record their HD gameplay footage. But it does work, as you see, just fine with the Wii. So let's try it with one of the other ones, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to come around here. So you see, this is not pre-recorded. Once my controller turns on, I'm actively interacting, so with the pass-through, working great. And there's even a preview on my laptop here. And there is a delay. I don't know if you can get both of those in the shot at the same time. But that's it. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the Wii. Okay. Unplug it, because we can't have more than one plugged in at a time. And let's just work our way across and plug in the 360. Plug it in. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. Get my controller. You should see it pop up shortly here. Got it? Okay. So there's our 360. And this is in 1080i. That's the highest resolution this will go. It won't actually record in 1080p, but then again, the vast majority of games do not do 1080 on consoles. So it's just too hard to keep up frame rate and good graphics at 1080p or 1080i. So most of them just go in 720. So it's perfectly fine and adequate, and we'll just, rock your socks off with it. So, how about, since we're doing the Microsoft console, we record a little bit on the PC. I've got both PC and Mac set up here so I can show you how both of them work, okay? So, how about we show this off, all right? Since we got the Microsoft console, let's do some gameplay footage recording on the PC interface. So, let's pick one of the games I've got on my 360. How about, we have Bastion. We do have Bastion. Let's fire that bad boy up. That's a fun game. I love that. Okay, so while this is booting up, let's look at this right here. Now, right there, this is on the capture screen. So you can see it's got this preview going right now. The difference between these three, PS3, AV, CHD, and 360, it really just deals with the saved format, but you can also alter that. And from here, we can go into device settings, and you get all these options for brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, and sharpness. You can also auto set all of those. And also in the video decoder, you can pick one of several video decoders, some NTSC, PAL, and CCAM. But we'll just stick with what the default is. Okay. So you can see it here real easy. You can tell it where you want it to save. The different possible formats that it'll save to are MP4, TS, and M2 TS. And we also have a format settings button, which will fire up here. And it's got quite a few different options. You can boost the analog input levels, which I found is pretty handy actually. Luma, Chroma, different. You can really go deep with this. Bit rates, peak bit rates. You can tell it exactly how high def you want the recording to go. For right now, I'm just going to stick with these basics, except of course boosting those analog audio input levels. That's helpful, especially if I'm going to do some editing, I can always go back in and lower those. It's better to have them, really powerful at the beginning and bring them back down if I need to later. So if we want to capture, we just hit the capture button. There's a little delay while it works. This isn't the most powerful computer, so it might take a little bit. And there it goes. It's running. So now I grab my controller, and there, like I said, there's a delay. So I hit start. It's going to go here, probably on the hard drive, before it goes. So you see it's recording, and it's telling you how long it's been recording. Right now we're at 24, 25 seconds. We can go full screen if we wanted to. This also has a capture screen, so that's something that's really handy when you're talking, a console. I mean, that availability has been around for a long time, of course, with PC games, if you're using Steam or whatever you're using, but not really with consoles. So you do have that option there. Moving around. If you're getting both of those, you can see there is a bit of a delay. But, it's doing some processing and it's doing some work. So, it's just fine.
Can't be too careful these days.
I'll play this in a while. So as you see, it's coming through just fine. This even works when I'm on my HD TV, my 55-inch HD TV at home, and I've got a 7.1 surround sound system. So I plug all this component into the surround sound system, which then goes out via HDMI to the TV, and it's great. It's my full resolution that I'm used to. It's the same sound, well, not quite the same sound as HDMI. I'm not getting the full sound support. But this box does support optical, which can come out of both the PS3 and the 360. So you can still get your 5.1 and record your 5.1 if you're using that optical cable.
Sure, the city marshals may be gone.
So this doesn't hurt my gameplay at all. It's got, the same reaction times I'm used to. I can't tell specifically that, I'm going through another device before it gets to the television. It feels just the same. There's no lag, there's no delay, which, that's important. I know some people are going to say I suck, but I really haven't played this in a while.
The windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid. Good thing the windbags don't know kid's fresh out of health tonics.
So I think that gives you a pretty good impression of, how this works. All right, so we're going to do different things. We're going to switch over from the PC. I'm going to go ahead and stop this capturing, and I'm going to show you a little bit of its editing suite that it has here. It's fairly rudimentary, but it is here. It's timeline storyboard, so you can drag and drop your clip here, and you can do some sort of basic stuff with it. You got a few effects that you can add in. Nothing too crazy. Mostly things that would probably make your footage look really weird. But it does have a few things. Anyway, it's not something I would recommend really for editing. Compared to something like Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere, it's just a few little things. But if you're good with your footage and you think it's good, you've got some options for create AVC HD, a DVD. You can create a file. It's got some options there, or you can upload straight to YouTube from here. So maybe you can just use some basic editing tools to tell it when you want the footage to start, when you want it to end, and then go ahead and publish it to YouTube right here if you're not comfortable with other particular methods of doing so. It's got transitions. It's got all kinds of sort of goofy, easy, plain things. Nothing too wild. So that's the PC interface. By the way, this is crazy easy to install. There's just an installation disk that installs the drivers and then installs this software. Really, really easy to use. Okay, so now we're going to disconnect from here and go over to my MacBook Pro. And we're also going to turn off the 360. Okay. Unplug it and plug in the PS3. Now, you can see already that the interface we have over here is a little different. This actually does not come on the disk. I had to go and download this. They call it HDPVR capture, and you can only download a demo version. So that part is kind of sucks. At this point, the demo version will only record about 2 minutes of live filming at a time before it stops. I have emailed Hauppauge, and they're working on getting me a license for this. But generally, you'd actually have to go and buy a license, even if you've already purchased the box, which I have a little issue with that personally. It's they should have provided both options for software, especially since a lot of people do video editing on Macs rather than PCs. But now as you see, there's no preview window here yet. You can opt in a preview window while you're recording, but it won't do it right here. So once again, you see we've got nice HD coming out of here into there and out. So everything works fine, normal, good color, HD, no lag, good stuff. Okay, so on here, now very different as you can see. Once again, we can tell it where we want it to go. It has the device serial number, input, output. Got video encoder options, once again, with bit rate and peak bit rate. You can go variable or constant. Audio encoder, you've got a couple options there, AAC or AC3. And once again, we have the boost audio levels during encoding, which, yes, that's good stuff. And this is where we go monitor video while recording to disk. So, yes, we opt in for that. Your LEDs, it has a post-processing that it'll automatically do when it's done. You can tell it how you want it to repackage. So you can, there's a 1080i, 720, blah, 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 into MP4, split into 4 GB chunks, which is good for FAT32 systems. Transcode for iPod, or remove the DAC3 atom. And then it also gives you an option, would you like to add the processed file to iTunes? So that's a nice little feature with your Mac version, is you can add it to iTunes as soon as you're done processing it, which for some people that's pretty awesome. Video controls, once again, we have the same deep control settings for the PVR that are right here from this. iCal schedule, so I guess you could time your recordings. Conversions, once again, this will show you your queue for your post-processing if you're doing more than one. And network, so it'll actually support storing process files to the network straight from this console here. So, how about we find out what this is like to record? So if I hit record, it takes a little bit. See, it says 0 megabytes because it's sort of booting up. And where's our preview? It's booting up VLC player. And there's our preview. So I can go into a game here. What do I want to jump into? I just downloaded this, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. So we'll fire this up. And once again, you can see there is a significant delay here between the two. But that's just the difference in the recording and the live. There's no lag on my end when I'm playing a game. Arcade mode, good. Let's go with old standby.
Jamaica. Round 1, fight!
It's been a long time since I played Street Fighter 2.
You lose. Round 2, fight!
And you see there, it already just stopped because it's the demo. So now it'll record again. It'll do it multiple times, but it is indeed limited to just about a minute or two right now. But when you unlock the full version, it can, just like the PC version, just keep recording and recording and recording ad nauseum. So there we go. That is the Hauppauge PVR HD Gaming Edition, or HDPVR Gaming Edition. So it's really, really handy. It's about $200. Great way to record your footage from your consoles without, of course, having to lug your big PC around. You can just hook it up through USB to any old laptop. Now, it does not have any internal storage, but of course, that would have made it a lot more expensive if it did. It does indeed need to be hooked up to a computer of some sort to record. And like I said, the only real fallback I see is this cable. I really wish you could hook up all three systems at once. It would make it a lot easier. You know, maybe put a little switch on this part or on this part to pick between them, because for a lot of people, it's real hard to get back in to the inputs on your gaming consoles. So, my overall grade on the Hauppauge PVR, $200. It'll record in HD from any of these three consoles, and of course other devices. It doesn't even have to be a gaming console. You could do, a DVD player or something. Though those things would probably qualify as piracy, so I would recommend against it. So overall, I'm going to give it about a B+. I think it's done a great job of exactly what it's intended to do. It records video game footage to publish, to do whatever you want with. So I'm going to finish up this review with some footage I took of the Mass Effect 3 demo from both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. So something I could see both of. So I'll clearly label them. You'll see Xbox 360, transition straight in the same basic footage to the PS3 version. You'll see the same great high-quality gaming footage recorded from both consoles on the Hauppauge PVR. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
How bad is it?
Bad. We just lost contact with 2 of our deep space outposts. There's something massive on long-range scanners.
Is this what Shepard warned us about?
I'd stake my life on it.
How long do we have?
Not long. I sent word. The fleet's immobilizing.
God help us all.
Commander.
You're not supposed to call me that anymore, James.
Not supposed to salute you either. We gotta go. The Defense Committee wants to see you.
Sounds important. What's going on?
Couldn't say. Just told me they needed you. Now.
Anderson?
Admiral?
You look good, Shepard. Maybe a little soft around the edges. How you holding up since being relieved from duty?
It's not so bad once you get used to the hot food and soft beds.
We'll get it sorted out.
What's going on? Why is everyone in such a hurry?
Admiral Hackett's mobilizing the fleets. I'm guessing word's made it to Alliance Command. Something big's headed our way.
The Reapers?
We don't know. Not for certain.
What else could it be?
If I knew that.
You know we're not ready if it is then. Not by a long shot.
Tell that to the Defense Committee.
Unless we're planning to talk the Reapers to death, the committee is a waste of time.
They're just scared. None of them have seen what you've seen. We've all reviewed your report, seen the data you've collected. But it's all just theory to us. You've been there, in the trenches, fighting them. You know what they're capable of.
That why they grounded me?